You started performing when you were a wee little kid.
Well, I say 3. My mother says I was 2 years and 9 months.
We don't believe her.
Oh, all right.
But I met your mother.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember she showed you the dress?
Oh, yeah. She wasn't a stage mother, though, was she, Ro?
No, not at all. No, she's not. She still isn't. My dad was the stage dad, I guess you would say.
Your father, he pushed you, though.
Yeah, well, nobody pushed. It was just there. The talent was there. And,
First with all that fatal song.
No, I tell you, the funny thing of it is, I always sounded like this. And I sang like this as a child. And I had my own radio show when I was 6 years old on NBC,
Lots
Coast
of
to
people
Coast.
thought you were one
They
of the
thought I
little
was a
people.
45-year-old midget. That's right.
True.
Because nobody sounded, no child sang like this, you know. So I've always had this throw. I've always sang like that.
But you didn't miss any of what we call
I had a greater advantage than anybody. Really, I did. Really, I did. I learned more by seeing it than I did in the history books.
You worked with some of the great ones, too, in your
The
career.
best, all of them.
Yeah. Who did you borrow from any of them, Earl? All of us
not
do that.
borrow. I think I learned an awful lot because I had a black and blue arm from Milton Berle.
Doing this a lot.
No, this. Don't walk on that. Don't move on that. Don't walk on that.
I'll be telling you not to walk on lines.
I wind up with an arm like that.
Oh,
You know?
wow.
And I worked with Skelton. I worked with Jack Benny. I worked with Burns and Allen when I was about 5 years old. I worked with Al Jolson when I was 3 at the Winter Garden.
Tell me about Jolson, please, because all I do is hear stories about him, and I happen to see the jazz singer one night.
Well, when that opened at the Winter Garden on Broadway...
I'm talking about the movie. I saw the movie.
I was in a short with the coat that you like so much.
Yes.
And I was 3 years old, and the short was playing with the jazz singer at the Winter Garden.
What was magical about him? What was it that...
His approach to the audience. He had... The minute he got out to that audience, they were his. He could do anything with an audience. And that's why I always say, there's no such thing as a bad audience. You make the audience. You got to make them.
You got to mold them into a good audience.
Yeah. We do that. They come off to me and they say, get that woman in the front. She's rotten. Get a hold of her. And so when I go out, I start picking on this lady because they send me to that.
Was she really rotten, Helen?
We've certainly taken her out for that. Only one night it was a friend of mine.
Who's a friend of
couple
yours.
times it was a friend of yours. I didn't care if it was a friend of mine. I said step on her.
Yeah, you
It was
did.
close enough.
Should have done it harder, Rose.
But what you came up.
I couldn't introduce Clooney because I usually introduce Clooney. And I'm saying, now, just be nice and quiet now because you're going to hear a wonderful singer. And I know you're waiting to hear it. You're beautiful. I love you, honey.
That's the worst
Oh,
part.
well,
She
you
would
were a
say good
smash
things.
with
I was
it.
a
You
smash.
did.
No, she would really say good things, but her timing was impeccable. The moment that you got to a punchline, she would say, "You're so good," you know, and it's a non sequitur, so there's just no way that you can get it back.
And so finally I turned around and she just walked out. She said, oh, forget it. Don't introduce me. And she just walked out.
But what do you do, and all of us have encountered this in this business.
Well,
where
we're
you-
not
where you
looking for
go to-
younger men, Mike, if
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
you're
no,
talking
no.
about.
When you go out and the audience has been on like a convention for 4 days, and they have been drinking, and they are out of it, and they don't even know a show's on. How many times have you had that happen where you
Lots of times.
And well, how do you get around that?
Well, you see,
Recently?
they can sing and get
So
off.
can you.
Yeah, but you sing a song and you get off. When you're doing comedy, it's a little difficult.
Impossible.
So,
Yeah.
right?
That's the balance.
So you actually
You've all
just
had
work
that happen.
Burst into song.
Oh, why don't you go get your hair combed, Helen, or something?